I used to get terrified of public speaking. Even the thought of getting up on stage and speaking in front of hundreds or thousands of people would make my stomach churn, my palms sweat, my mouth go dry, and my breathing, it sounded like I was on the 17th mile of a marathon. But now I don't, and I can get up on stage completely fine. And it's all down to these 5 hacks that I did. And now in this video, I'm going to show you them so you can copy them. But before I get into that, if you want some exercises, 18 exercises to be precise, on top of that, to help with your speaking confidence, link below, completely free, put your email in, I will email that poster over to you. Hack number 1, it's a mindset shift. You got to think of it like this. Imagine you're walking down the street, you've got a coffee in one hand, you've got your phone in the other. You're on the way to work, and you see a homeless man on the floor, and you know you've got lunch in your bag, and you think it'd be a nice thing to do to give that homeless man your lunch because you've got the money to pay for another lunch when you get to work. I bet you don't feel nervous. Why? Because you are giving. You are giving that homeless man some sort of value. You are giving him some food so he can eat either now or later on. But now imagine, after you've given that homeless man some food, your coffee runs out and you're thinking, I need a new coffee. You go to the coffee shop, you get your usual order, but instead of paying, you have to ask the question, please can I have it for free? I bet you if you had to ask that question, your stomach would start to churn. You'd get a little bit nervous. You wouldn't even want to say it because you are taking. You are not giving, you are trying to take away from them. And it's the same when you are on stage. When you go on stage to give to other people, to give value, to give them a net gain, your nerves will go down because you're not there to take. And when you get that mindset in your brain and drilled in, you realize by going on stage, everyone else will benefit, and that's the reason I'm going on. I'm not going on to take from them, because when you take from people, that's when your nerves start to really go up. But when you're there for the sole purpose of them, you don't get as nervous. That is hack number 1. Go in with a giving mentality and not a taking mentality. Hack number 2. Now this is understanding that fear and excitement are the same thing. When I got into fighting, I had my first fight. And before I even got in the ring, I had this mad feeling in my stomach, similar to what it was like when I first started public speaking. But because I'd never experienced this before, I was starting to panic. And because I was panicking, my mind was going blank and I was thinking, I'm gonna forget these combinations here. But my next fight, I had that same feeling in my stomach, but I wasn't shaking as much. And then by fight number 10, I had that exact same feeling, but I felt confident, I felt ready, and I felt like I was gonna knock the other person out. And all it was, I wasn't used to that feeling. I wasn't used to having that feeling in the bottom of my stomach because for me, at the time, it felt like this is strange. This shouldn't be here. I don't get this feeling when I walk down the street. And when you can understand that fear and excitement are the same thing, that is when you will excel when you are on that stage. But how can you get to a point where fear and excitement feel the same thing? I just want you to think about your hero. Your hero and my hero have something in common. And that one thing is courage. Everyone that you admire has courage. And the way that you can get courage is by using your fear and adding action to the equation. Because fear plus action is courage. The courageous people, they still feel fear. The only difference is they act upon it. They don't let fear hold them back. They feel fear and they go through it anyway. And that is how they can feel excited. That is mindset hack number 2. The way you turn fear into excitement is by adding action to the equation, because that will make you courageous. Let's get the magic pen out. Hack number 3, this goes in a triangle formation. We have looking confident, we have sounding confident, and we have feeling confident. Those are the 3 types of confidence that you can have when it comes to public speaking. Now there is a way of formatting this so you can feel confident. Because looking confident, you can change how you look, you can change how you stand, you can change how you dress. Sounding confident, you can put more energy into your voice so you sound more confident. But if you spoke like this and did not move at all and stayed very monotone, you don't look confident and you don't sound confident. By literally moving your hands and putting more energy into your voice, you look more confident and you sound more confident. This feeling very confident, it's very hard to fake that. You can't just feel confident. Me, if I went, feel more confident, that's just like me saying to someone having a panic attack, don't worry about it, mate. It doesn't work. But looking and sounding are two tangible things that you can work on. And by looking and sounding confident, you will start tricking your brain into feeling confident. And eventually, that won't be a trick anymore. That will be natural. Looking goes at the bottom, sounding goes at the bottom, and that will equate to feeling. Work how you stand. Work on how you stand. Work on how you move your hands, how you use the stage. Then, put energy into your voice. Don't speak too quickly. Take your time. And you will start to feel confident. And it literally goes in this triangle formation. But if you literally try to feel more confident, honestly, you will blank, you will freeze, and then you'll be thinking, oh, what do I say now? What do I say now? But when you work on these two elements down here, you will start to feel more confident. And because I've got the iPad out, I might as well do hack number 4 on it too. Hack number 4 is exposure therapy. Now, hear me out. Low is just you. Medium, a few. High, all eyes on you. Because by exposing yourself slightly to your fear, to turn that fear into excitement by acting upon it, you will start to get more comfortable. You're going to do low stakes activities. Activities that is just you. And that poster, this is how it goes. Low, just you. Medium, a few. High, all eyes on you. So if you need some specific activities, link below to put your email in and I will send you those activities over. But you are going to do low stakes activities first. Once they feel comfortable, you're going to move on to medium and then high. And it goes in this stepping formation. You're going to find your comfort zone. You are going to pick one activity that is slightly above your comfort zone until you get comfortable doing that activity. Until you get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because then you can take the next step and the next step and the next step. If you want to completely eliminate your speaking anxiety when it comes to going up on stage or taking a meeting at work or a presentation at work, this is what you have to do. The hacks that I've gone through so far, they will help you manage it. But by exposing yourself to the fear over time, that will help eliminate it. And that is what eliminated mine completely. I started by speaking to myself on camera, then complimenting randomers in the street, then going to Toastmasters and doing little speeches in front of people, then getting up on stage and doing speeches for paid communities. I exposed myself to the fear. And when you can slightly push your limits, you will expose yourself to. And that moves me on to the last one. And the last one is hack number 5. This is a game day hack. If you've got a presentation on this weekend, this is one that you can do. And I can guarantee you that it will work. When I was fighting, my first 10 fights, I would go out and I'd be stiff for the first round. I'd be nervous. I would feel like I had no energy whatsoever. I felt like the adrenaline was just taking over. Because that's the thing. When you fight or when you speak, you go into this fight or flight mode. And I was getting in this fight mode too quickly. And because all this adrenaline was there. And when I started speaking, I was getting the same problem. I was going up on stage and for the first 2-3 minutes, I didn't feel comfortable whatsoever. My breathing was going really high, my palms were really sweaty, my stomach was churning, and my mouth was going dry. And because my mouth was going dry, I was struggling to pronounce the words. And because I was struggling to pronounce the words, I was starting to go blank and panicking. And because I was panicking, I was making it even worse. This is what fixed it. Because this is what I did once I started training with the best fighters in the world. I realized the best fighters in the world all do a pre-game workout. It's literally 15 minutes of high intensity sprints. They would do 10-second sprints, rest for 40 seconds. Because what that did for me was allow me to start the fight calm and composed. And I'm guessing that's all you want with your speaking, to walk out feeling calm and composed. And by doing that workout, that allowed me to feel those feelings. I thought, I can put this into my speaking. I started doing it before speaking, just a little one, and it helped tremendously. Because you are pulling out all that nervous energy by releasing all your energy on maybe an air bike or some sprints. So if you've got an important presentation, go and work out in the morning. Take out some of that nervous energy whilst you're working out. And I guarantee you, you will feel more calm and composed when you have to give your presentation and you have to do your public speech. But if you can't do exercise, you can't go to the gym and get some sprints in. You could do some exercises just before going out to ground you. Maybe some squat jumps or some high knees. Obviously, I don't recommend doing that in your suit if you're gonna sweat or your dress if you're gonna sweat. But an hour before or 2 hours before you get dressed, you can do it. But just some sort of movement so when you go out on stage, you don't freeze up. You feel calm. because you've already got your blood moving, and that feeling of adrenaline won't be as high. And that is the best game day hack that I have that you can now copy. And those are the 5 hacks that I've used to eliminate my speaking anxiety when it comes to public speaking. If public speaking terrifies you, try these 5 hacks. And if you want to eliminate it, make sure you do number 4, exposure therapy. And this poster right here will help with that. Link below, completely free. Now, although this is very helpful to eliminate your fear, you want to do more than that. You want to be remembered when you speak. You want to make sure your message gets across to everyone listening by giving them all the correct value, but doing it in the right manner. And if that's you, you should probably watch this.